I'm happy that I made excuses. I'm grateful that I didn't go after my dreams. No. You know what people are thinking at the end of their life? They're thinking, God, I wish I could do it again. If I had felt what I feel now, if I'd known what I know now, I would have lived so much differently. I wouldn't let fear stop me. I wouldn't worry about what other people thought of me. I wouldn't have held back. I wouldn't have waited. I wouldn't have thought about it. I would have been all in on my dreams and that purpose God put on my heart. You see, that's what I felt in my jail cell. But I didn't die. And I wasn't on my deathbed. God gave me a second chance. And I took that lesson and I've applied it to my life ever since. In fact, I started while I was incarcerated. Before I knew how much time I was going to do in prison, where I was going to go, what was going to happen, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to go all in to live the best life I ever could. That I was going to be my truest, most authentic self every moment for the rest of my life going forward. The reason I had to do that was because I couldn't sit another day, live another day, experience another day, going through the pain and anguish knowing that I did that to myself. My choices, my actions. That's what it all comes down to. So in that moment in my cell, I committed to a life of excellence and a life of sobriety. And I've been sober ever since. That was 13 years ago. But what do you do in a 6x8 jail cell to live a life of excellence? Could you imagine waking up in that tiny little cement box with another human being in a cell so small you can touch both walls at the same time? How do you build momentum? How do you stay positive? What do those constructive habits look like? Could you guys do it? Rather than focus on all the things I couldn't do, I chose to start asking myself, well, what can I do today to be productive? Every morning when my feet hit that cold cement floor, I'd ask myself that question. What can I do today to be productive? And that thought process started to change my life because I recognized that I could get up and I could work out. I could read books. I could study the dictionary. I could work on my penmanship and my letters back home. I started to find dozens and dozens of things I could do moment to moment to improve my mindset and build up my self-confidence. And so every day in that cell, I started to do those things repetitively. I'd get up, I'd pray, I'd create that gratitude perspective. I'd tap in above and say, God, show me the way. And then I'd do the work. Now, a lot of you guys are looking for answers. A lot of you guys are questioning things. You know what? You got to start by working on yourself. If you look in the mirror and you're not happy with who you see, your body, the way you're showing up for your family, the time you wake up, the food you eat, the habits that you've developed, that's where you start to change. Then the bigger vision will start to emerge over time. And that's what happened to me. By the time I was sentenced to 7 years in prison, I knew that I was in the process of transformation. I had made the commitment, I was backing it up every day with positive action. 8 months had gone by. And in that 8 months, I radically changed my mindset, my habits, and my self-belief. When I went to prison, I wasn't scared, I wasn't daunted, I wasn't worried about failure or being incarcerated. I told myself, Sean, if you can get through this time in prison and you make every day count, there's nothing in life that you can't do after that. And that was the mindset. Some of you, when you go through adversity or there's challenges, you get daunted, you get scared. You start talking to yourself negatively about your situation. Next time that happens, I want you to get excited. I want you to go, God, thank you for what you're doing in my life and who you're helping me to become. You see, there's always learning lessons. There's always growth in those moments. Do you know anybody that grows stronger sitting on the couch eating Cheetos? What about sleeping in, being hungover like everyone else? Right? I'm showing up every day. I'm gonna lap these motherfuckers. Let's go, right? I see you in the front row, you're ready. Hey, how you show up every day, it has an effect on who you become over time, right? Incremental actions become monumental results in time. But if you have bad habits, that time's not working in your favor. So when I got to prison, you guys, I continued with the momentum I built in the county jail. And let me tell you this, I was so proud of myself. I was so excited to get up at 4 in the morning and do burpees and read the dictionary and write letters home and read books and study and get smarter and learn and get stronger. I was so excited. I couldn't contain it. In fact, when I wrote letters back home and every phone call that I got on with a loved one, I started to tell them about what I was doing. As if I was just building this massive empire, right? Man, I'm doing like thousands of push-ups every morning, Dad. Yeah, I'm reading Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. He's reading my mind, right? I started taking college courses because I wanted to educate myself. I started studying psychology, small business, any textbook I could get my hands on, I started to devour at that time. And every opportunity I got, whether it was with another inmate, a counselor in prison, or a family member, I told them who I was becoming, why I was becoming that man, and where I was going in life. You see, a lot of people, you guys are too timid. You're scared to call your shot. You're scared to express your truth. You're scared to depict your dreams for other people. You know why? Because you don't believe in yourself enough to speak those words yet. You haven't put in the hours. You haven't worked on yourself extensively enough to the point where you know in conviction who you are and what you're capable of. That's what prison did for me. It put me in the most extreme setting possible. And God said, let's see what you're made of, son. And I showed up every day and I did the work. Despite how I felt, despite my circumstances, despite being around murderers and robbers and all these people, I found a path. And you know, after 5.5 years being incarcerated, right before I came home, a lot of guys started to approach me, asking me, Sean, man, what are you doing to stay so motivated and positive in prison? Like, do you got a plan? What are you doing? Like, why are you taking these college courses? Why are you working out every day? Why are you getting up early? Like, you got time left, man, just chill. Can you imagine guys in prison telling me to just chill? Yeah, because I want to be like you. No, I knew that I was built for something different. I was made for more, and I had to get there. And these other guys started working out with me. They started taking my recommendations on what books to read. I started seeing these guys change, man. I started seeing them build confidence, start to talk differently about their lives, commit to sobriety. I saw these men transform before my eyes, and these were the worst of the worst. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, if I could help these guys change by sharing what's worked for me and showing them the way, I could help anybody in the world. And so that's what God put on my heart, to be of service, to be an example, to be a leader for other men and women who I know are made for more but just feel stuck like God once did in my life. And so when I came home, I continued to build upon that momentum that I formed in prison. And I pursued every goal and every vision that God put on my heart. And the first and most important thing was to start a family. And that's a picture of my beautiful wife, Jessica, my oldest son, Mason, youngest boy, Preston, daughter, Scarlett. And we have Bella Ray, who's 5 months old now. When I was in prison, every day I would pray to God to get a chance to start a family and be the man that I needed as a kid, to be the man that they deserve. And it's been one of the most fulfilling, beautiful, inexpressible things I've ever been able to experience, is being able to raise my family and have my sweetheart Jessica by my side. Now I hear a lot of guys say, oh, you know, my why's my family. I ask men all the time, what's your why? What drives you? What motivates you, man? They say, my wife and kids. I go, really? And that's the body you're walking around in? Right? Oh, you fucking slept in because you were hungover? Yeah? Your wife and kids? Really? I wouldn't sleep. I wouldn't eat. I would never do anything to hold me back from becoming my best self in this life if I said my wife and kids were my why. And a lot of men say that, but that's not true. You see, a lot of times it's got to go deeper than that. There has to be something inside of you that's selfish, that's self-focused, healing pain every day like I am. Right? Fighting through that regret each and every day of who you were versus who you want to become. There has to be something personal that you can attach yourself to the point where you're never sleeping again, you'll never skip that workout, you'll never stop training, you'll never stop developing yourself. That's what prison did for me. And so I've been able to write a book that became a bestseller, Prison of Your Own. Some of you read it. If not, I'd love to get you a copy. Speak on stages like this and start my coaching program, Unstoppable 365. And now I've been able to help hundreds of blue-collar business owners across the country work on their mindset, their fitness, their health, all because I chose 13 years ago to go all in to become my best self. And now I'm in a position where I can lead and guide other people. You guys, what I'll tell you is everything that you want from a professional standpoint is possible. All the money, all the success, the dream life, the family, the house. But it starts with you. Personal development doesn't just create professional success. Personal development creates real success. Okay? If you're a guy with a lot of money in your bank account, but you're not present with your children, you're not spending time with your family. If you're a guy making money, making sales, but you got a fat belly, you are not successful. You're not. A successful man is a leader at home in his business. When he walks into a room, he depicts that exemplary discipline that we all want. He walks with confidence. He's a 10 out of 10 across the board. And guess what? We're all a work in progress. Until the day I die, I'm going to continue to work on myself so that I can strive to reach that image of that man that God's put on my heart. You guys, when you go down this path, you're going to be tested. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be all these unknowns. That's why you have to find something deep and profound inside you that's going to drive you each and every day. For me, it's continuing to make the wrongs of yesterday right by the way I live today. Continuing to heal those wounds and that pain from childhood. Continuing to show up to give my all every day for the wasted years that I can't get back. Every day I get up and I'm so grateful for another day of life. And I infuse that gratitude, that perspective, that energy into every moment that I get. And if you can start training yourself to show up each and every day and give your all to becoming your best self, not just in business, not just in sales, not just in marketing, every little detail about you, I promise you, you'll experience the greatest form of success this world has to offer for you. Thank you for letting me share. I appreciate your time. Let's finish this weekend strong.
Come on.